Hello friend, welcome all of you to the electric neuron. Today we are going to discuss the continued lectures of the inductance and then we are going to discuss the capacitance effect. So in the previous lectures we have already discussed the inductance formula and the voltage drop across the inductance. Now see the power across the inductance. So power across the inductance is voltage into current. So voltage across the inductance, that is L di divided by dt, and the power, that is L di by dt into current. So this is our instantaneous power. Energy, what is energy? Energy is the integration of power with respect to dt. So here put the formula of power and integrated this. So W, that is energy, is equal to L di by dt into I dt. So here dt and dt will be cancelled. So left part is L. Left part will be transferred to this side. W is equal to L integration of I di. So I will be integrated, then we will form I square divided by 2 into that L. So this is the formula of energy of inductor, that is half Li square. This is the figure, and the sinusoidal voltage supply will be supplied to the inductor, and that inductor will be sinusoidally charged or discharged. So power dissipation in the ideal inductor is equal to 0, because in the positive half cycle and negative half cycle the average power dissipation, that is equal to 0, because of there is 2 cycle. In the positive half cycle, from 0 to pi by 2 it is charging, or pi by 2 to pi it is discharging. So overall dissipation is 0. That means from 0 to pi by 2 it is positive, and from pi by 2 to pi it is negative. So positive and negative equals to 0. Like that, in the negative half cycle, from the pi to 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. So here from the pi to 3 pi by 2 it is positive, that means it is charging, and then 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi it is discharging. So overall power dissipation across the negative half cycle, that is plus and minus, equal to 0. So power dissipation across the ideal inductor, that is equal to 0. And since internal resistance will be equal to 0, inductor store energy in the form of magnetic field, that is kinetic energy. So see the condition of inductor, that is under steady state condition for DC supply, inductor behave like as a short circuit, that is V equal to L di by dt. So here due to steady state condition, the inductor behave like is a short circuit. So due to short circuit, di by dt is equal to 0. So voltage, overall voltage is equal to 0. So if voltage is equal to 0, then it is short circuit. Okay, so the current will be in the constant. Let's see the point number 2. Here inductor does not allow sudden change of current. Since sudden change of current is the voltage, that is dt tends to 0, or V is equal to L di by dt. So if dt tends to 0, then overally it will be infinity. And see the point number 3. Inductor does not allow sudden change in the current. The potential inductive circuit has finite value of finite time. So time constant tau is equal to inductor divided by resistance. So this is our time constant, and this is the ideal inductor figure. So here only inductor will be there, and there is no resistance. So there is no resistance drop. Resistance drop is equal to 0. So overall power dissipation across the ideal inductor should be 0. And also here this is the practical inductor. So in practical inductor there should be one resistance value. So there will be the resistance drop or voltage drop across the inductor. So now we are going to discuss about the capacitor. So see here in this figure, this is the figure of capacitance. The positive terminal is connected to anode and the negative terminal is connected to cathode. So this is the two plate are the electrode plate. In between the electrode plate, one is dielectric plate is connected in between the two electrode. So electrode surface area is S and the electrode gap distance is D. So remember that one thing, the capacitor will be store energy in the electric field instead of using the magnetic field, but in magnetic field the inductor will store the energy for a particular amount of time. Okay, so larger electrode surface area, there will be larger capacitance, or higher relative dielectric constant, there is a larger capacitance, and smaller electrode gap distance, this distance, if D is very less, then our capacitance effect is very high, or if high dielectric constant, then larger capacitor will be formed. So the formula of capacitance is C is equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon R into S divided by D. So here epsilon 0 is your dielectric constant in vacuum and epsilon R is relative dielectric constant in material. So formula of epsilon 0 is 8 into 854 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad per meter, or S is your electric surface area and D is your electrode gap distance. So this is the figure of capacitors. The positive terminal is connected to the anode and the negative terminal is connected to the cathode of the capacitors, and the dielectric is connected between the two electrodes. So whenever there is flowing the current, then the in the positive potential, the positive electron will be flow from this point to this point, and the negative electrode will be flow from this point to this point. Okay, so the formula of capacitor Q, a charge is directly proportional to voltage, or Q is equal to C into voltage. C is your capacitor constant, C that is equal to Q divided by V voltage, because the voltage of the right hand side is transferred to the denominator side of the left hand side. So that is Q divided by V. So Q is your coulomb divided by V is your volt. So average formula, that is capacitance, that is equal to farad. Okay, so see here the Q is equal to C into V. Now we will differentiate with respect to T. So dq divided by dt is equal to C, that is constant, that's why we are taking in the this side. So C into dv divided by dt. So we have already know in our basic, that is dq divided by dt is equal to I, or I is equal to C dv divided by dt. So you can also write the capacitance formula as this: C is equal to I divided by dv divided by dt, because of the dv divided by dt will be transferred to the denominator side of the left hand side. So here see this I, that is current across the capacitor, is equal to C dv divided by dt. This is our Ohm's law from the 7th forms. Or voltage across the capacitor is equal to, if we will integrate this term, then you will form this 1 divided by C integration of minus infinity to t I dt. This is the 8th form of the Ohm's law. Okay, please remember that two formula, those are very important to you for writing your examination paper. Okay, so let's see the power across the capacitor. So power is equal to voltage into current, or power is equal to voltage into current across the capacitor, that is equal to C dv by dt, or this is the instantaneous power. And now see the energy of the inductor, energy of the capacitor, that is W is equal to integration of P dt. In case of our inductor also, the energy of the inductor is integration of V dt. So here also integration of P dt. So energy W is equal to integration of V, that is P is equal to V into I. So V into I, that is C into dv divided by dt into dt term. So here dt term will be cancelled, so only the CV term will be left. So the C is the constant term, so we will taking this as this side. So W is equal to half CV square. The energy formula of the capacitor is W is equal to half CV square. In ideal capacitor, dielectric loss is very loss, but practical it is worse, due to which the power dissipation in the ideal capacitor is 0. Like that is your inductance. There is a two cycle, one is positive half cycle, another one is negative half cycle. For positive half cycle, there is from the 0 to pi by 2, or that is pi, or this is 3 pi, divided by 2, or this is 2 pi. So from 0 to pi by 2, it is positive. In the positive half cycle, that is capacitor store energy, but in the pi by 2 to pi, there is a replace of energy from the capacitor, so that will be dissipate energy from the capacitor. So overall, the positive and negative half cycle, the energy will be charge and discharge in the capacitor, so overall energy will be 0. In the negative half cycle also, from the pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, it will be store the energy, and from the 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, it will be discharge the energy. So overall the charge will be 0. Now see the next slide. The power dissipation in the ideal capacitor is equal to 0, or the capacitor store energy in the form of electric field potential energy, or when capacitance of the capacitor independent on voltage magnitude, then the capacitor is equal the linear voltage. So when the capacitor is independent of the voltage, that means if voltage is increased from the 10%, then Q is also increased 10%. If voltage is increased 90%, then Q is also increased 90%. So there is no relationship between the capacitance and voltage, so it is independent with the capacitance and voltage, so this capacitance is equal the linear. Okay, like that, capacitance is also called the nonlinear capacitance when there is a the relationship between capacitance and voltage. So the relationship, when there is a relationship between capacitance and voltage, then that is called the non-linear capacitance. So this is the one type of capacitance, that is vector. Diode is one type of capacitance, that is a variable, so it is a non-linear capacitance. Now see the conclusion.